I lead the consumer and commercial practice for PepsiCo Labs, which is our tech venturing and innovation arm. And I'm here to share a little bit about the model that we've built to bring startup tech innovation into PepsiCo and how we're helping to scale and embed those solutions to drive business impact. I think one thing I wanted to highlight is just kind of some of the underlying strategic pillars that anchor a lot of what we do at PepsiCo. So one fundamental one is what we call PepsiCo Positive, which is our sustainability agenda, both in terms of environment as well as people's sustainability. The second one is about the consumer. We anchor, nearly everything we do at PepsiCo is very much anchored on the consumer. And as a consumer products company that's trying to propel into the next generation, we're all about building that direct one deeper connection with the consumer. And then thirdly, digital transformation is a huge strategic pillar of PepsiCo's. So it really encompasses the whole breadth of our business, and that's what I wanted to speak to you about today. So the digital transformation journey for PepsiCo is what PepsiCo Labs is helping to fuel. Of course, we're one part of it. There's a big organization behind this effort, but we're a key part of it. And fundamentally, what we do at PepsiCo Labs is bring emerging tech startup solutions to solve some of the biggest opportunities and challenges for PepsiCo. We anchor on our business needs to discover, test, and scale the most relevant solutions for PepsiCo. Fundamentally, what we are trying to do is to bring the right solutions that can propel our business, our overarching goals to be faster, stronger, and better. Typically I would start a talk like this by explaining why PepsiCo as a company is so keen and focused on emerging tech and startup solutions. But obviously, given the context that I'm in and the audience in front of me today, you kind of get it, right? So we all know that emerging tech, startup solutions, this whole ecosystem represents a massive opportunity for large corporations. But I think we all, most of us appreciate that for a large company, really taking advantage and tapping into that innovation in an effective way, it's extremely hard. Startup engagements at corporations tend to be ad hoc, siloed, done in a very small area with very little connectivity to the business, and then kind of fizzle out after a quick POC. So the model that we've tried to build at PepsiCo is working with our whole global organization to really holistically and systematically go after this opportunity. We've established this systematic process, which we've been following across our programs. And it looks very simplistic when you put it up, but I think you can all appreciate in a large, complex organization like PepsiCo, there's a lot under each of these steps that go on. So we start by working with our global organization, starting with the executive sponsors, to really define and understand our needs. We work up and down the organization across to make sure that we're bringing in the right subject matter experts as well as the right stakeholders across the business. And really what we're doing is setting up the structure and governance so that once we engage with the startups and start on the program, we've got the right level of visibility and ownership across the business. Then with these briefs that we develop in this first stage, we then reach out to the broad ecosystem of VC partners, accelerators, others that we've established to quickly understand what's driving innovation in these spaces, what are the cutting edge solutions that are most relevant for us. And then we quickly distill that list of 300-400 startups down to a small set, which we then progress into pilot. And I will say, I think one of the other kind of secret sauce elements of what we've built is this rapid pilot process. Another massive pain point for large corporations is the ability to get things into market relatively quickly. And so we've partnered with all of our support functions like IT, InfoSec, legal, et cetera, to really streamline that process and build something kind of fit for purpose so that we can get pilots up and going quickly. But all with a very clear scope and understanding of what success looks like between us and the startup so that after the pilot, we can actually come to a decision about next steps. And the thing I want to highlight on this page, and the thing I love working with startups is that, as we form these partnerships, there are so many opportunities to really create what sounds like a cliche, but really that win-win partnership. Because we're both adding so much value to each other's businesses that unlike a typical vendor relationship where you're going back and forth on price only, there are so many other levers and opportunities to go after to really expand the size of the whole pie. In terms of areas of focus that we work across, so PepsiCo Labs is pretty broad. We cover the vast breadth of our value chain. So as you can see, in terms of areas of technology that apply to us, it's pretty broad. So we've built a pretty vast network of VCs, accelerators, so that they're constantly helping us tap into the right solutions. We run about 8 programs across our functions, across the business per year. So we've evaluated what seems like a mountain of startups, and then we've put well over, these numbers are a little outdated, so we've put well over 200 pilots into market and now scaling, and some of those solutions are fully scaled globally. The next session, I wanted to kind of bring to life the types of areas and the types of solutions we work with so you can get a better understanding of what we do and how we partner with our solutions. Rembrand is a solution that we piloted in our marketing program last year, and we've been really happy with the results. So in terms of the problem to solve, a key, one area where we see tremendous opportunity, as most brands do, is influencer marketing. We know it's effective, but still it's highly manual. And so that limits the amount that we can do and the scope we can cover, because it really limits us to the biggest influencers. What Rembrand does, and maybe some of you know already what Rembrand does, but it uses AI to place products and brands and signage into content that's already been produced, so influencer content. So it's using AI to find the right influencers, the context, the placement, and then using AI to make those insertions. So what that enables us to do is now get into influencer content that was previously white space for us. Last example, and this is probably a little bit more relevant to the retail space. So a solution that we've been working with more in kind of the workforce management is Shiftsmart. And they're helping us bring gig labor into parts of our workforce. So you may know that PepsiCo, in big chunks of our business, has a direct store delivery model. And what that means is it's PepsiCo people going to the store, selling, delivering, and merchandising, so putting our products onto the shelf, right? So when we're trying to manage against peak spikes in demand, it gets very costly. It's very difficult to do that in a cost-efficient way. So gig labor has huge potential, but it's been difficult for us in the past because of just ensuring the quality of work, the seamlessness, etc. So in the pilots with Shiftsmart, we've seen really promising results. What they do is take a full-time hourly workload and then fractionalize it. So they basically chunk it out into smaller shifts, and they make it available on their platform to vetted and qualified workers. What we've found is that opens up the workforce significantly, so that people who previously couldn't take a 12-hour shift can now take a 4-hour shift. And so that's given us a lot more flexibility in our scheduling and reducing the overall costs. But a side benefit has been the impact on our DE&I goals, because the type of people we're now able to attract with these shorter, flexible work hours are usually more kind of minority skewed. So whether it's caretakers and they're looking for shorter shifts and more flexible arrangements, or whether it's other minority groups or shift workers, etc. So that's been some exciting results.